Today, I'm here to tell you a story of an emerging infectious disease, one that gives you coughs, fever, and pneumonia requiring hospital ventilators. It's about a pathogen that is so dangerous that the World Health Organization announced our need for novel treatments against it is at critical priority 1 status, as we need to stem the rise of infections globally. Disclaimer, this isn't a story of COVID-19, and in fact, it's a story about a bacteria that's just as sinister, Pseudomonas aeruginosa. But unlike COVID-19, Pseudomonas can cause infection lasting for decades and is now gaining resistance against our last line of antibiotics. So to fight Pseudomonas from within the lungs, we need to take a more unconventional approach. In my project, I aim to manipulate our strongest weapon against bacteria, our human immune system. In an ideal scenario, our body can wage warfare against Pseudomonas through using one of our best weapons, the production of antibody. Antibody is a highly trained targeted missile that can seek out Pseudomonas and recruit the immune system to fight harder and stronger. Yet, something goes wrong in Pseudomonas infection. Our lab has found that patients produce oodles of antibody that simply don't work. This antibody literally cloaks the bacteria, hiding it from recognition, allowing it to grow and overwhelm our lungs. Sick patients with this cloaking antibody can be treated to phenomenal success by removing their antibody. Following treatment, Pseudomonas is no longer detectable, and the patient's lung function and quality of life are greatly improved. But there's still one problem, and that the cells that produce this cloaking antibody still remain in these patients. And many months later, what we find is that the cloaking antibody returns, and with it, that persistent Pseudomonas infection. In my project, I aim to seize the means of production. I want to find the cells that produce cloaking antibody and destroy them once and for all. And we have a great way of finding them too, as these cellular factories are unique in that they display the cloaking antibody that they produce. This is a perfect target for therapeutics to recognize, infiltrate, and eliminate these cells for good. I believe that our best treatment against Pseudomonas isn't a tireless regime of antibiotics, which in coming years probably won't work anyway. I believe it's to destroy the cells that produce cloaking antibody for good. As my grandma always said, the best way to kill a weed is to pull it out by the roots.